The main difference between vowels and consonants is vowels are untouched. When I say untouched, your part, this is actually comes from Pariniya Siksha. I believe it's sloka number 38, if I'm not mistaken. It mentions clearly that the vowels are untouched, or rather they're pure, because you don't use any of the location of your tongue doesn't touch the top of your mouth. So in our case, the flute, we don't use any of your fingers. It just comes close. It doesn't close completely. And that's, if you notice, a, e, e, u, ru, lulu, a, I, o, au, ah, right? Your tongue is not touching anywhere. That's why it's called asprustya, meaning it doesn't touch anywhere. And then you have semi-vowels. It kind of touches briefly. It's like half softly touching. And then you have consonants, which is they have a hard stops. So for example, you say ka, kha, ga, gha, and all of them, they have a specific location where you're closing those air passages and to create the specific sound. And there's a lot more richness into the consonants, which I'll cover further down. So we'll proceed on from here. We'll start with swaraha, and swaraha is the basic sound units of Sanskritam. So anything, any letter, whatever that you take randomly, they had to have one of these 16 vowels within it, because without that there's no sound coming. Remember that vowel's job is to get the air going in a specific channel, and then the consonant stops it, so you get the sound there, like kha, right? Kha stops it, and then lets go the air, k, kha. So that's how you get the sound. But the important here is that swara always comes at the end. They are suffixing there, and the consonants are prefixing, which means consonants come first and then comes a swara. That's the same reason why the Vedic chanting is called swara chanting or Vedic swaras. Because even though it's vast literature of Rig, Yajur, Sama and Atharvana, all of them have various multiple consonants. The highlight is on swaras, because you cannot elongate the consonants because they are hard stops. But you can elongate where you have enough air to breathe, which is the swaras, like e. There's no, it's infinite, right? As long as your pranayama, your breath helps you, you can elongate it based on the rules of the Vedic chanting and the intonations or accents indicated. That's why the Vedic, they don't say vyanjana, they call swaras, because we are only working on the swaras that to match the rules. Each swara, each of the 16 ones have various modulations coming out of it, and we can categorize that into two different groups. One way of variation within a vowel is because of matra, how long you have to retain that, and the second one is the swara. Swara is accenting, so which is like to take it high or low and high low. So it's a very well structured a tree. You can make it out of it to get the exact count of how many you have, which is quite a lot, because we have 16 vowels and each of them have 18 variations. It creates a vast amount of possibilities, permutations and combinations. So if you see here, we'll just cover only the variations related to the matras or to the duration, not with the accent, because accent is a different topic that we'll cover later when I start on the Vedic chanting. For now, for our discussion, it is sufficient if we focus on the variations within a letter which is arising due to the duration, how long to hold the swara for. The first one is hrasva. The hrasva is one matra, is one basic unit, time it takes to clap or like just like a flip a finger. It just takes same amount of time, very basic unit, and that's called hrasva. And the lagu is a similar meaning, is a synonym, but it is used more in the context of Chanda Shastra, which was written by Pingalacharya. Pingala is a different, it's a, just like Siksha. Right now what we are learning is Siksha. Siksha is a Vedanga. Vedas, we have a source that came from divine, and then we have Vedangas that helps one to understand what they are talking about, how to pronounce it, and what are the rules of it. So one of which is Siksha. Siksha tells about how to chant it perfectly. And then we have other Vedanga called Chandas. Chandas gives a proper rhythm, how long to chant, and what is the, and it doesn't talk about the accents. It talks more about the rhythm, how to get the flow. And it's a different topic which we discussed a few years back. I'll again try to revisit later, but for now we'll focus only on the Siksha, which is the pronunciation aspect. The second part is the Dirgha. Dirgha is you elongate for 2 matras. So that's 2 units. Simple. It's called Guru, and Guru is the term used in the Chanda Shastra. And the last one is the Pluta. The Pluta is you take it for 3 matras. You don't use it that often, but nevertheless this is quite used often in the Vedic chanting. In next video we will discuss the vowels pronunciation. Namaste.